Greetings to all. Welcome to Future of this Academy. Today we are going to discuss daily current affairs of 8th August. So today we are going to discuss the topics of extra 100-gram crushes, Vinesh Olympic dreams. So we have to know under prelims perspective. Next, Lok Sabha passes finance bill amends provisions on LTCG tax. So we have to know under GS2 paper Indian polity. Next, tiny bones shed light on mystery hobbits, which comes under prelims perspective. Next, artificial intelligence, quantum computing is its big breakthrough movement. So, which comes under GS3, science and technology. Next, Guru Ghasidas Tamor Pingla Tiger Reserve. So, we have to know under location this topic. Next, editorial analysis, and finally, we'll be seeing the international organization topic. So, our first topic is about extra 100-gram crushes Vinesh Olympic dreams. So, why it is a news? Wrestler Vinesh Phogat, Olympics champion, ended in disappointment when she was disqualified for being 100 grams over the 550 kg limit before her final match. Despite efforts to cut weight, including a sauna session and haircut, she failed to meet the weight requirement. So Phogat, who had previously defeated top competitors and made history as the first Indian woman wrestler to reach Olympic and Olympic final, was eliminated, and Kuban Yusnail's Guzman Lopez advanced to the final. Now, weigh-in specifics. So, we have to know about this. Weigh-ins take place in the morning for any wrestlers competing that day. The tournament for each weight class is contested over 2 days span. Hence, any wrestlers that make the finals or repeat will have to make weight loss on both days. The first weigh-in. So, during the first weigh-in, wrestlers will have 30 minutes to make weight. Contestants are weighed with their singlets but nothing else. Athletes will also examine to make sure they have no signs of any contagious diseases and that their fingernails are cut very short. Next, during second day, for any wrestlers competing on the second day, the weigh-in will last 15 minutes. This is not negotiable window during which the wrestler must make the required weight or risk disqualification. Now, weight tolerance in Olympics. No more weight tolerance will be allowed for the second week. In the Olympics, follow a strict weight restriction without the 2 kg weight intolerance. 2 kilograms weight tolerance is allowed for World Cup and for the international tournaments except UWW ranking events. Now, was a 2 day weigh-in always the rule? In 2017, the UWW changed the format of Olympic wrestling. The Rio Olympics was the last time when wrestling was conducted as a single-day event in a major international tournament. So instead of the competition in a weight category being conducted all in a day, they moved to 2 day system. Next, this was done so that athletes would not lose a huge amount of weight one day and compete. Now, the process of wrestling weights is first the weight cut. The weight cut is in combat sports such as wrestling, boxing, and mixed martial arts. Athletes compete in specific weight categories to ensure fair competition. These categories have strict rules that prevent athletes from participating if they exceed the designated weight limit. To meet these requirements, some athletes engage in a practice known as weight cutting, where they rapidly lose set amount of weight just before the competition. This is done through various methods such as dehydration, restrictive dieting, and intense physical activity. While weight cutting is common, it can pose significantly health risks, and controversies surrounding its safe and fairness continue to debated in the sports committee. How do wrestlers cut weight? In many sports with weight categories, athletes often cut weight to fit into a lower category, typically reducing up to 10% of their body mass before major events. The most challenging period is 24 to 48 hours before the competition, where athletes must shed the final smallest margins of the weight. So after meeting the weight requirements and completing the weigh-in, athletes rehydrate and eat to regain energy and recover the fluids and body mass lost. Once the competition is over, they often start the weight cutting cycle again for the next event. The case of Vignesh Phogat. So, Vinesh has always struggled to cut weight for the 50 kg category. She had been participating in the 53 kg category until recently before she made the switch to 50 kg. The switch was made at the trials in NIS Patiala. Phogat usually weight is around 55 to 56, which she has to cut to 50 kg on the last days of competition. Keeping her body weight below 55 to 56 kg has proved to be quite tough, as there is not much more weight to cut, and cutting water weight by sweating out of the proven to be extremely challenging for the Indian wrestler. Could Vinesh have salved a medal if she had injured? According to UWW, if an athlete is injured during the first day, he or she does not have to attend the second weekend and will keep his or her results. In Vinesh's case, she would have got the silver medal, but if an athlete is injured after one day of the competition, they have to attend the second weekend. Why was she disqualified? Concern rules. If an athlete does not attend or fails the weekend, that the first and the second weekend, he will be eliminated from the competition and rank last without the rank. So with this, we have the UPSC question which have been asked in the year 2021. Consider the following statements in respect of the 32nd Summer Olympics. The official motto for the Olympics is a new world. Sport, climbing, surfing, skateboarding, karate and baseball are included in this Olympics. Which of the above statements are correct? So the answer is B. Only second statement is correct. Our next topic is about Lok Sabha passes Finance Bill amends provision LTCG Tax. So we have to know about the news first. The Finance Bill 2024 was passed by the Lok Sabha incorporating an amendment on long-term capital gains, that is LTCG, long-term capital gains, allowing taxpayers to choose between a new lower rate of 12.5% without indexation or old 20% rate with indexation benefits. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman defended the budget proposals focusing on tax simplification and investment promotion, opposing protests over GST on insurance. Premiums lead to the walkout. Now, what is finance bill here? So the finance bill is introduced in the Lok Sabha following the union budget presented by the finance minister. It encompasses the financial purposes of the upcoming financial year. Once passed by the parliament and assented to by the president, it becomes the finance act for that year, effectively giving legal force to budgetary measures. Now, what are the types of finance bill here? So type 1 we have under article 117 class 1. So it contains matters both related to the money bill and general legislation. It can be introduced only in Lok Sabha with a presidential recommendation. So Rajya Sabha can suggest amendments with the Lok Sabha may accept or reject. In case of deadlock, a joint sitting of both houses may be convened by the president. The president can assent, withhold assent or return the bill on the reconsideration. Next, type 2. So type 2 will have article 117 under class 3. It deals with provisions involves expenditure from the Consolidated Fund of India but does not include bill matters. It can be introduced in either house of the parliament. Governed by the procedures applicable to ordinary bills requiring presidential recommendation for consideration. And we have to know the difference between money bill and finance bill. First, we'll be seeing the money bill. So, money bill, it contains provisions related exclusively to taxation, borrowing of money by the government and expenditure from a receipt to the Consolidated Fund of India. It can only be introduced in the Lok Sabha, certified as money bill by the Speaker of Lok Sabha, cannot amend or reject the money bill. That is the role of Rajya Sabha. Next, it must be passed by Lok Sabha and can be sent to Rajya Sabha for recommendations. Lok Sabha can reject Rajya Sabha recommendation if not acted upon the Rajya Sabha within 14 days deemed passed. Next, the presidential recommendation amends is no amends allowed to Rajya Sabha. No provisions for joint sitting. Lok Sabha decision is final. Next, we have to know about finance bill. So it covers a broader range of financial matters, including provisions related to taxation, but may also include general legislation or expenditure not strictly related to the consolidated fund. So it can be introduced only in the Lok Sabha in type 1. In type 2, we can be introduced either in any of the house. So no certified as money bill can recommend amendments to type 1. Type 2 is treated like a ordinary bill, must be passed by both houses. In case of disagreement, a joint sitting of both houses can be summoned by the president for type 1. Type 2 follows ordinary bill procedures. Next, the requirement type 1 not necessary for type 2. Rajya Sabha can suggest amendments for Type 1. Type 2 follows ordinary bill procedures. President can summon a joint sitting of both houses or Type 1, Type 2 is resolved through ordinary legislative procedures. So with this, we have UPSC prelims question which have been asked in previous year 2023 regarding finance bill and money bill in the Indian Parliament. Consider the following statements. When the Lok Sabha transmits the finance bill to the Rajya Sabha, it can be amend or reject the bill. Next, when the Lok Sabha transmits the money bill to the Rajya Sabha, it can amend or reject the bill. It can only make recommendations. In case of disagreement between the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, there is no joint sitting for money bill, but joint sitting becomes necessary for the finance bill. So here the answer is B. Only two statements are correct here. Our next topic is about tiny bones shed light on mystery hobbits. The recent findings from Flores Island revealed the Homo floresiens, previously thought to be about 1.06 meters tall, were only around 1 meter tall 700,000 years ago. This suggests that they evolved from larger Homo erectus adapting through island dwarfism after reaching the island via deep sea migration. Now we have the analysis of this news here. First, the discovery. A tiny upper man bone and some teeth from Homo floresiensis were found on Flores Island, Indonesia, providing new sights into their size evolution. Next, the significance. The arm bone is identified as the smallest humerus fossil of an adult hominin ever discovered. Next, the new findings. The fossil suggests that Homo floresiens stood about 1 meter tall around 700,000 years ago, which is smaller than previous estimates of around 1.06 meters. Next, the previous estimate is earlier findings include teeth and jaw bones from around 60,000 years ago. Also, it had indicated a height of approximately 1.06 meter. Next, we have to know about evolutionary report. That is, two main theories exist. The first theory says that Homo floresiensis evolved from the small hominin that arrived on Flores about a million years ago. The theory 2 says that Homo erectus, a large hominin, arrived on the island and through island dwarfism evolved into the smaller Homo floresiensis over the next 300 years. Next, island dwarfism. Island dwarfism. The phenomenon where larger animals reduced in size due to limited resources and space on isolated islands. Next, about other animals. Other small mammals, including cow-sized relative of the elephant, were also present on the island. Next to migration hypothesis, it is suggested that Homo erectus may have reached Flores by crossing deep sea barriers, potentially using their natural debris for rafting. Next, the survival. Once isolated, these homins have adopted and evolved into distinct forms, surviving on the island for hundreds of thousands of years. So that's all from this topic. Our next topic is about after artificial intelligence, quantum computing eyes is big breakthrough moment. We have to know about first. The news highlights the transformative potential of quantum computing, focusing on Riverlane advancement with its quantum departure. It undergoes the challenges of scaling and error correction, while major tech companies invest heavily, signaling future regulatory considerations and profound technological impacts. Next, we have to see about the overview of quantum computing. Under overview, we have the technological promise, technology, technological promise. So, under technological promise, quantum computing is poised to revolutionize fields such as drug development and climate change by performing tasks beyond the capabilities of conventional computers. So, Riverlane, a Cambridge-based company, is at forefront with its quantum decoder chip, which addresses error correction issues inherent in quantum computing. Next, the key components and concepts. The first is quantum bits. In quantum bits, we have it is called also a qubits. So unlike classical bits 0 or 1, qubits can represent all values between 0 and 1 simultaneously, similar to dimmer switches versus simple on-off states. The capability allows quantum computers to handle a vast amount of information, making them suitable for stimulating complex quantum systems. Now, what are the error correction and control? Quantum systems require precise control over qubits due to their susceptibility to errors and noise. Effective error correction is crucial for reliable quantum computing, with ongoing research focusing on shielding hardware and developing algorithms to manage errors. Next, we have to know about current limitations and challenges. So, in current limitation and challenges, we have two things such as operational scale, and exponential growth. Exponential growth. So in industry and regulatory impact, we have major investments and regulatory considerations. So in major investments, leading tech companies include Google, IBM, Microsoft and Amazon are heavily investing in quantum technology, focusing on qubit generation and error reduction. So, in regulatory consideration, with quantum computing's potential to disrupt current cryptographic systems and create new materials, there is a growing need of regulatory framework. The technology implications are prompting regulators to anticipate and address future challenges, learning from past experience with technologies like AI. In future look, we have to know about their progress and potential. The quality of qubits have improved, making this an exciting time for quantum technology. The primary challenge remains scaling up and integrating effective error corrections. Quantum computing is expected to solve problems that are currently unsolvable, driving further research and development in the field. So with this, we have UPSC prelims question which have been asked in 2022. Which one of the following is the context in which of the term qubit mentioned? So the answer is B, quantum computing. So our next topic is about Guru Ghasidas Tamor Tiger Reserve. So Chhattisgarh had approved the creation of this tiger reserve, the third largest in India. Chhattisgarh cleared a proposal to notify the new tiger reserve. So Chhattisgarh has approved the creation of Guru Ghasidas Tamor Tiger Reserve, the third largest in the country, spanning 2,829 square kilometers. Andhra Pradesh Nagarjuna Sagar Srisailam Tiger Reserve is the country's largest tiger reserve, covering 3,296.31 square kilometer. Next, Manas Tiger Reserve in Assam is the second largest with an area of 2,837.1 square kilometer. Both have 58 tigers. Next, Guru Ghasidas Tamor Tiger Reserve. They combined the areas of Guru Ghasidas National Park and Tamor Wildlife Sanctuary has been declared as a tiger reserve. The newly created reserve integrates an existing national park with wildlife sanctuary. It is located in northern part of state bordering Madhya Pradesh and Jharkhand. Guru Ghasidas National Park in Korea district. Next, Tamor Wildlife Sanctuary in Surajpur district of the state. This region is located in districts of Manindragarh, Chirmiri, Bharatpur, Korea, Surajpur and Balrampur. This will be the fourth tiger reserve in Chhattisgarh after the Udanti Sitanadi, Udanti Sitanadi, Achanakkamar, Achanakmar. Next, Indravati reserves. Indravati reserves. Next, the process of notification of tiger reserves. So the tiger reserves are notified by state governments as per provisions of section 38B of the Wildlife Protection Act 1972 on advice of National Tiger Conservation Authority. The following steps are involved in the notification. Proposal is obtained from the state in the principal approval of communicated from the National Tiger of the Wildlife Protection Act. Next, National Tiger Conservation Authority recommends the proposal to the state after due diligence. The state government notifies the areas as a tiger reserve. Next, we have to see about the tiger reserves can be altered and denotified. The process are governed by Section 38W of the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Regarding denotification, it says no alteration in the boundaries of a tiger reserve shall be made except on recommendation of the Tiger Conservation Authority and approval of the National Board for Wildlife. No state government shall be denotified a tiger reserve except in public interest with the approval of Tiger Conservation Authority and National Board of Wildlife. So with this we have the UPSC question which have been asked in prelims previous year 2017. From the ecological point of view, which one of the following assumes importance in being good link between Eastern Ghats and Western Ghats? Example A. Sorry, answer is A. Satyamangalam Tiger Reserve. So now we'll see the editorial analysis. Our topic is about Kurt shifts the tide on stray dog policy. So the judgment emphasizes constitutional compassion, scientific temper, and humanism, supporting human population control methods endorsed by WHO over unscientific culling practice. So with this, we have to know about Supreme Court ruling on stray dogs case. The Supreme Court of India delivered a final judgment on a 15-year-old case titled Animal Welfare Board of India and versus People of Elimination of Stray Troubles or also known as All India Stray Dogs case or AWBI versus PEST. So the case concerned the rights of municipal and local authorities to call stray dogs to manage populations and prevent rabies and human-animal conflicts. The judgment delivered on July 12 has drawn both praise and criticism. Next, the Center versus State of Municipal Laws. Center versus state and municipal laws. The legal conflict was between state and municipal laws, which allowed the killing of stray dogs, and central laws specify the prevention of cruelty to animals PCA Act 1960 and Animal Birth Control Rules 2001, which prohibited such attendance. Next, the Supreme Court's final mandate. The Supreme Court acknowledged changes the legislative landscape, particularly with the protection of the new Animal Birth Control Rules 2023, which aligned the Prevention of Cruelty Animals Act 1960 to prohibit wanton killing and promote sterilization. Next, the constitutional compassion and duties. The Supreme Court endorsed the WHO Health Organization recommendation for sterilization as only effective and humane method to control the stray dog population. Next, the promoting scientific temper and humanism. So the article argues for adopting scientific methods and humanism as promoted by Article 51A G. So of the Indian Constitution mandates the over a unscientific and inhuman practice like culling stray dogs. The importance of maintaining the bond between humans and dogs domesticated around 10,000 years ago is emphasized. The Supreme Court decision is portrayed as a positive step towards the human scientifically backed approach to managing stray dog populations. In Article 51A, Class G of the Indian Constitution says that it mandates that it's the duty of every Indian citizen to protect and improve natural environment, including forests, lake, rivers, and wildlife, and show compassion to all living creatures. With this, we have to know about the Prevention of Cruelty Animals Act 1960 and the Animal Birth Control Rules. We have to know about that. The PCA Act 1960 was enacted by the Parliament of India to prevent the infliction of unnecessary pain or suffering on animals and to amend the laws relating to the prevention of cruelty animals. So in PCA Act 1960 and ABC Rules 2001 prohibit the killing of stray dogs and mandate sterilization as the rules scientific and human method of controlling stray dog population. The new ABC rules to 323 notified under PCA Act 1960 also prohibit wanton killing of stray dogs by municipalities and require them to follow sterilization. Next, what are the issues due to the stray dogs in India? The issues are first, population, rabies incidence, rabies incidence. Next, dog bite case. Dog bite case. So these are the issues. So next we'll continue the UN nations which have been continuing in our past two videos. Today under that we are going to see three, that is UN nations, International Court of Justice, Secretariat and funds and programs. So first, the United Nations International Court of Justice. It is the principal judicial organ of the United Nations. It was established in the year 1945 by the Charter of United Nations began in April 1946. The ICJ is the successor of the Permanent Court of International Justice, which was established by the League of Nations in 1920. Next, the United Nations Secretariat. The Secretary General and tens of thousands of international UN staff members who carry out day-to-day work of the UN as mandated by the General Assembly and organization other principal organs. The Secretary General Chief Administrative Officer, an organization appointed by the General Assembly on the recommendations of Security Council for 5-year renewable term. UN staff members are recruited internationally and locally and work in duty stations and peacemaking missions all around the world. So next is United Nations funds and program. So in this we'll have first UNICEF. So in UNICEF, the United Nations Children Funds, originally known as United Nations International Children Emergency Fund, was created by the United Nations General Assembly in the year 1946 to provide emergency food and health care to the children and mothers in the countries that had been devastated by World War II. In 1950, UNICEF aid was extended to address the local long-term needs to the children and women in developing countries. In 53, it became a permanent part of United Nations system and the words international and emergency were dropped from the organization name through it retained the original acronym UNICEF. Now we have to know about the executive board. So it has 36-member broad board establishes policies, approves programs and oversees administrative and financial plans. The members are government representatives who are elected by the United Nations Economic and Social Council usually for 3-year terms. Next we have to know about this is first. Next is UNFPA. United Nations Population Fund, formerly the United Nations Fund for Population Activities, is the United Nations Sexual and Reproductive Health Agency. It is a mission to deliver a world where every pregnancy is wanted, every childbirth is safe, and every young person potential is fulfilled. In 2018, UNFPA launched efforts to achieve 3 transformative results, ambitious that promise to change the world for every man, woman, and young person. That is, ending unmet need for family planning, ending preventable maternal death, and ending gender-based violence and harmful practices. Still, we have continuation in this United Nations. We'll continue in our next video. So with this, we have the prelims question which have been asked in the year 2022. With reference to the United Nations Credentials Committee, consider the following statement. It is a committee set up by the UN Security Council and works under its supervision. It traditionally meets in March, June and September every year. It assesses the credentials of all UN members before submitting report to the General Assembly approval. Which of the statements given above is correct? The answer is A3 only. Only third statement is correct. So to read this document, you can visit our website. Our website link have been provided in the description. To get more daily current affairs videos, follow our YouTube channel, also our Telegram channel. Thank you.